So let's get started. We are not doing that. We are doing the normal one, and we're going to play You Don't Know Jack 2015.
Start of game activation is live.
It's fun if you guys want to join, you can.
Attention, there are leftover French fries in the Jack Attack room. Leftover French fries in the Jack Attack room. However, it's just the small burnt ones. Thank you.
Okay, Crystal Sucks is in, and everybody's in.
Not in my face, that would be great.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious.
Cookie Masterson.
Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff.
Hey, cool.
Don't you two make an adorable couple? Handle those screws carefully.
NZO.
If you think an opponent doesn't know the
But it
answer,
doesn't
hit
matter
the screw button and you'll
anymore.
force them to answer immediately. If they miss it, you win big. And our wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
The San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash.
Round
So
one.
let's make this happen. Right off the bat, Bootyful. Let's
Bootyful.
analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water?
Water.
10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Players 1 and 2. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Number two.
I call this one, his acting is alright.
Matthew McConaughey.
So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages? The McCona Industrial Age? The McCona Middle Ages? Or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 2. All wrong. Player 1. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Open wide for brought to you by the letter U, Unibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Player 1, watch the time. Player 2, this is gonna hurt.
Oh, I forgot. It was
Honestly,
Bert, the Count,
Ernie has
and
no
Ernie.
eyebrows at all. Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows. And yet, none of them have ever blinked. Here's a good one. Duck, Duck, Swan. Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Player 2, cue the Swan song.
No.
Player
I keep
one.
losing.
Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Take a good look at the man in the backwards yellow hat. And it's a dis or dat.
This or that.
Player two, why don't you take this dis or dat since you need the most help?
Oh,
I'm
why
going to
don't you
read off
just say my
7
name?
things, and for each one, you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber or
An
an
RG.
antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Player one. Try to lock in your answer before player two, because if player two gets it wrong, but you get it right, you'll steal that cash. We good? Here we go. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. Egged a house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. Forget George, I'm curious how someone could do this badly.
Curious George got high on ether.
I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That's the end of a thrilling first round. Remember, in round two, every question is worth double.
Oh no. I'm
And
good.
don't forget, our room is still out there waiting to be picked. Well, no time like the present. Next, Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Player 2. Now that's just the dumberest answer I ever heard. I
thought
so
that was
wanted
the
you to
wrong
pick this
answer
one.
today.
Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Player 1. No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won the greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This wrong answer of the game nets you a handsome $8,000. Yeah, you're welcome.
Question 7.
I thought the odderest was the one. Do you get it what
Here's
I mean?
what I like to call Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go.
Let it go. Oh.
At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Players 1 and 2. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
I knew that from the thermometer
And I
in the pool.
know, blah, 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 he could magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Pucker up for Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First
That seriously
spotted
just came
in
out of his butt, didn't it?
1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus. Player 2. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Player 1. That answer has a hole in it. How about wine or lose? If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Players 1 and 2? Hey, way to be wrong! Why didn't you pick this? Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive.
No.
Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn.
You can join at any time.
Take a stab
Anybody
at,
watching?
I want to lick and roll all night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Player 1. I don't think that's even as long as the tongue he already has. Player 2. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore.
Attack.
Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 big ones if you're right, but if you're wrong, you lose 2,000. And of course,
remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck.
Knock it up this. Oh, Patrick. I hate you! Did I get that? No, I lost.
Player 1 with the win! Player 1, you cleaned up, which isn't saying much when you're playing against someone with the personality of waxy build-up. Player 2, next time you want to play against Player 1, remind yourself, you don't know Jack!
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's do...
Hello, I'm Philly.
Exit, multiplayer, and...
Okay, we're set.
Okay, anybody that wants to play that's watching the stream right now can play.
Cookie, no, we didn't install a urinal in the studio, so we're going to send someone in to clean that up.
And not my problem. Intern, I need some help with my zipper.
Whoa, dude! What the f*** are you eating, man?
Just some f***ing baby carrots, bro.
Whoa! But they look like big carrots, only way f***ing smaller.
That's just f***ing it. I don't have time to f***ing eat an adult.
I am Cookie Masterson, and I shaved my nipples for this, so let's hurry before it grows
What?
back. Like, we
What?
need to get moving now.
What?
2 players?
Did you hear
What
him?
happened? Did you lose your pieces to Battleship? There are your screws to get you started. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And our wrong answer of the game is sponsored by...
Flavored eye drops. Why let your mouth have all the fun? Flavored eye drops.
If you happen to find our sponsor's wrong answer of the game, you'll be rewarded with big prizes and cash.
Round
All right, let's do
one.
this thing.
Get ready, time for question.
Okay, to get things
Ready?
started, Eat, Pray, Die. Which of these Julia Roberts characters would Jack the Ripper have been most likely to savagely murder? Erin Brockovich, Vivian Ward, Tess Ocean, or Liz Gilbert? Player 1. Player 2. Vivian Ward is the name of the prostitute Julia Roberts plays in Pretty Woman, and almost all of serial killer Jack the Ripper's alleged victims were female prostitutes, so he'd probably have just loved to murder her.
I didn't know
I can
any of
see
that.
it now. He'd open the box with his knife in it. She'd reach in and he'd playfully shut it, snapping her fingers. She'd laugh, he'd laugh, and he'd kill her.
Oh, mama gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
Next up, If I Only Had a Brain Trust. Suppose the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz faced off against the Wicked Witch of the West in a public debate. If he wanted to use a straw man argument against her, what might he do? Attack the Wicked Witch's character rather than the issues? Misrepresent the Wicked Witch's position on the issues? Prove the Wicked Witch wrong using statistical data? Or interrupt the Wicked Witch before she finishes her points? Player 1. I think you know what's coming. Player 2. Hey, remember when the Scarecrow says the sum of the square roots of any 2 sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side? Yeah, he was actually wrong. So you guys have that in common. Remember when the Scarecrow says the sum of the square roots of any 2 sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side? Yeah, he was actually wrong. So you guys have that in common.
Why
Now
did it
pay
take
attention.
twice?
A straw man argument purposefully misrepresents an opponent's position in
Why
order
did
to
it say
strike
twice?
it down. Here's how I would debate the Wicked Witch. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the 2 candidates you see here tonight is a Wicked Witch. Thank you, I yield the rest of my time.
Dance with me, disco.
You know why it said?
And now, getting naughty. And this dis or dat leg's being tied up. Player 1. You could use more cash. Yeah, why don't you take a crack at this one? I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one you tell me if it's the name of a necktie knot or the name of a sex position recommended by Women's Health magazine. If it's a necktie knot, press the square button. If it's a sex position, press the circle button. Player 2. Choose your answer before Player 1, and if Player 1 gets it wrong and you get it right, that cash is yours. Okay, we're off. The Half Windsor. the valedictorian, the Prince Albert, the Trinity, the caboose, the chairman, the four-in-hand. It appears your score likes to be on bottom. My usual sex position is also the way I usually tie a tie, alone in front of a mirror. Here we have Shop Till Everyone Drops. Say at Christmas time, every single item at your local mall sells out. According to a popular Grimm fairy tale, which of these stores has the best chance to be magically stocked overnight by hardworking elves? Foot Locker, Radio Shack, Victoria's Secret, or Lens Crafters? Goodness, player one, you're screwed. You got 5 seconds to give me an answer. Oh man, time's up. Player two, you handled that screw very well. Let's see if you can make this really hurt. Correct answer, show yourself. In the Grimm fairy tale, The Elves and the Cobbler, a poor shoemaker is given some much-needed help by elves who appear in the middle of the night. And while the shoemaker made a nice profit, the elves were trampled to death on Black Friday. Player two, I think your vision's blurred. But clear your eyes tastefully with these flavored eye drops. All those in flavor, say aye. You'll be happy to know this wrong answer. The game comes with $4,000. Congrats. Here's one for you. Okie dokie. If you're driving between company headquarters, which trip should be the shortest?
I'm gonna end it off here. So yeah, see you guys later, and goodbye.